So, as you guys read, I did not get the job. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about how to navigate disappointment in this job market, especially when you have been praying and hoping and really seeking God for something that you wanted, right? And I'll basically talk about what I am doing to navigate disappointment, right? So you guys know that I have been praying for this specific position that I have been interviewing for, and we even had a prayer call this morning, and I was praying, and the one thing that I did pray for, I said, God, give us an answer today. And very shortly after, that is when I received my answer, and the answer was no. So I received the news shortly after the live that we had just this morning, and the news that I received was no. Immediately, what I felt, I really seriously had to just take a pause, and I had to read it again to make sure that I was reading the correct email from the correct job, because I guess I just assumed that they would call me and let me know that they weren't going to move forward, and possibly these are the reasons why. Maybe, I don't know. But I kind of really didn't expect to receive an email saying, that they weren't going to move forward. So kind of like the shock of it all, going into my email and finding that was definitely disappointing and heartbreaking. And I'm going to talk about 6 things that I did to kind of move forward from it. We're a few hours later, but let's talk about what I did to kind of navigate this disappointment, and possibly what you can do too if it resonates with you. So the very first thing that I had to do was take a pause and take a deep breath. I had to allow myself to feel, right? I had to allow myself, after I read the email like 2 and 3 times and realized that what I was looking at was real, I had to realize that that is the reality. And when I prayed to God, and I don't want to give, I'm trying my best. So when I prayed to God earlier, when we were on the live, and I prayed to him and I asked him, for an answer. I asked for all of us to get an answer. And the answer, I was like, rather it's going to be an open door or a closed door. And very shortly after the live, and when I say very shortly after, it was literally very shortly after, that's when I received the email that this door was not going to be opened, because I guess it was open a little bit, right, for the interview, but this door was not going to be open for me. And so I had to take a moment to let that sink in. And then not take it personal. I think it's important that we don't take it personal, especially if we're seeking God for what truly is for us. We can't take it personal, because God knows more than what we know. He is the author and the finisher of our faith and of our lives. And so I couldn't take it personal. I just had to say, okay, God, even though I've circled this prayer every day, even though I've come to you, even though I've fasted for this position, even though I've done all of these things of what your word says, I'm not going to take it personal, because ultimately my faith is in you. And so, I want to tell the next person, it is okay to feel. It is okay to to just take the news in for a minute, before you even reach out to anybody or let anybody know. Just take a beat and take a moment for yourself, to be able to think rationally and not take it personal. All right, guys, my battery had went dead. I had to, kind of refresh while I'm crying on y'all. I hope the lighting is good too. You guys know that I'm currently working that out. But anyway, so just know that it is okay to feel. We are in some real different times. Even if we weren't in different times, I think the feeling is pretty much the same. However, it's a little bit more difficult than it has been in the past. So that is pretty much the first thing I did. So the very next thing that I did was I took it to God. I hit my knees and I took it to him in prayer. As I just explained, I asked for an answer. And even though the answer wasn't yes, it was still an answer because I was truly tired of having the anxiety of like, oh, am I going to get it? Am I going to move to the next step or not? I still had peace, but just wanting to know. I'm not going to say anxiety, but wanting to know. And God gave me that answer very shortly after and, letting me know this is not the one. And so, I immediately went to him. I immediately thanked him for the answer. And there's something that is not even that it's anything wrong. It's just not in my story or not in the will for me to be there for whatever reason. And I then just thanked him for redirection, thanked him for clarity, and really still worshiped him in that moment. Thanked him for his protection, his guidance, even though, it's not just the job part, it's the financial part as well. I'm still trusting him financially with my bills, of course, and my budget and all that good stuff. But ultimately, I just needed to really seek him for comfort, and knowing that even though this is not it, I know that he has something for me. It's really important to know as well that a closed door is not the end of the road. A closed door is just that. It's just, we have all these doors that we're knocking on. Like when we're applying for these positions, we're knocking on door after door after door, and somebody's going to open it and we'll be able to walk into what God has for us. So, it's just something that we have to accept and expect, that everything that we apply for and or interview for won't be that open door. So that's just something that I had to really realize and know. And so remember the scripture that we talked about this morning, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so I had to remember that scripture because I can do all things. I can receive bad news and still be okay. So the third thing that I did was lean on my circle. So I have two friends where we are kind of working at finding our dream job together. And so I, reached out to them and let them know, the update. We pretty much talk often when it comes to us really looking for what, God has for us. And they have just been instrumental during this time. We're connecting all the time. We're helping with sending jobs to each other that we feel may be a good fit for one another. We are helping with interview questions, and we're just really able to lean on one another at this time. And it is really, really helpful. And so if you have a circle, or if you have some friends or family that you can reach out to, or a group of people, it's good to, reach out to them and just be honest and let them know like how you're really feeling. But what is especially amazing is how you receive the uplifting messages. And that's exactly what I received from my friends. They uplifted me during that moment. And of course, going to God in prayer for me as I go for them, and saying, hey, look, It's okay. This one isn't it, but trust and believe and know that God is faithful. So definitely, if you have a group of believers who is in your circle, is really a plus. So I took it to my circle. Okay. So the next thing that I did was, of course, went to go start looking for more jobs. So after I kind of grieved, that desire that I had of working there, I came back and I put in a couple of applications. I'm really picky about where I put in my applications. I don't just apply for anything. I really look at the role. I look at the responsibilities. I make sure it's something that I want to go after, and then I go ahead and apply for it. So I was able to apply for a couple of roles, and it kind of reignited my excitement, if you will, but not excitement for being in the market looking for a job, but it kind of gave me a little bit of hope back. And so not only did I start putting out more applications, but just also still strategically thinking about finances. I think I mentioned that a little bit earlier in the video. Now that I'm kind of back at square zero, what about the financial part of my world? Because that 100% is a part of what I'm going through. And so I began to think about how I can strategically make things stretch and make like my emergency fund stretch. And I have some ideas, and I'll share them with you, not on this video, on another video, of what I'm thinking to do so that I can make this thing stretch as much as I possibly can. So it's time to continue to be as strategic as we possibly can be during this season. So that's what I did. Started applying for jobs next. And then I decided to go ahead and reach out to the company that I did interview with. And I did ask them for feedback. Because if there is something that I can work on as far as my skill set, or if it's the way that I interviewed, or, whatever caused them to say no, I would love to hear that information so that, I can correct whatever it possibly is. So I did email the hiring manager, which is the VP, and then I also emailed the recruiter. Hopefully I'll get a response back. I haven't gotten anything back yet. So we'll see, because I do believe that will be helpful information. So if you ever receive a no, and after you've interviewed, it will be really good to reach out to the company to ask for feedback. And hopefully, that is something that we'll get so that we can take that into our next interview. That is an update, right? So she is not hired yet. I hope that this video has been helpful, especially to anyone who's navigating, this crazy market right now. Definitely God bless us all. We will keep praying. We will keep having faith that God will open doors, and we will land our dream job. Trust and know that we will. If you have any questions or any testimonies that you guys want to give, please leave them down in the comments. If this is your first time here, my name is Jasmine, aka Budget Treasures. Please, 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 please give this video a thumbs up so that it can really be pushed out, and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel if you are not yet. And I will see you besties in the new video, or in the next video. Go be great, besties. Peace out.
You special and she reckless. Remember, you're my bestest friend. Yeah, she my bestie. My love for you is endless. Nobody else can end it. And when I get the money back, then baby girl, you can spend it. And everything is alright. I like how you do.